Today's Namaste Yoga is a restorative class. Hello and welcome to episode 322 of Namaste Yoga. Thank you for welcoming me into your home as we journey into our innermost home over the next hour. Next week we've already pre-recorded a class for you, and I have no idea what happened, but class, you get a short class next week. I don't know what happened. It was a normal class, much like any other class, but it ended up being 36 minutes, so you get a short class. It had all the components. I was holding and breathing, but maybe because of my cold last week, it was maybe my breaths were really short. I don't know. Anyway, it's a beautiful location. It was a nice, gorgeous day. You're gonna love the class, and if you want it to be an hour long, you can do it twice. So this week, though, we're continuing with the 5 aversions, and this week's aversion is sleepiness or dullness or boredom, and I think it's a really good one for us because it's one of the common complaints in my classes that they're boring because I don't entertain you. You know, it's not like I do tons of vinyasas or poses that are more circus and acrobatic. And I ask you, what we're doing here is we're training in mindfulness. And so a lot of times that means being still, dropping inward. And oftentimes when you do that, there's not a lot happening. And so our brains are trained when not a lot is happening to do one of two things. One is to go make something happen, pick up the device and scroll. Find some entertainment, or 2, go to sleep. So we're going to be dealing with that today. And I thought we would do a class, one of my favorite style class, which is restorative, where there really isn't a lot happening. So it asks you to train in focusing. And I think it's a very worthwhile pursuit because in our culture, we're very much trained to always be doing, and there is no training in focusing and being. And so that's what we do when we come to our mats. We focus on being. So let me get you in your first posture, and then we'll go through our normal opening because you can be in your first posture here as I ramble on. So we're going to start with legs up the wall today. So to come into legs up the wall, you put your hip right up at the side. You sit on the edge of your mat. And then you swing your legs around. And you have your legs at the wall. You can rest your hands on your belly or by your side. And if you have any low back issues, it'd be better for you to have your knees bent here or your legs resting on a chair rather than legs up the wall. So see what works best for you today in your body. Okay, so by the way, we are inside today for a few reasons. Number one, it's cold outside. It's 10 degrees is our temperature for filming outside, and it's 5 degrees. And it's also the forecast for rain is imminent, although it's sunny right now, but anyway. And just in that it's a restorative class, it's nice that all the props are here. So, and we have a lot of filming to do this week. Filming and photo shoot and a lot of filming to get in. and there's a lot of rain this week, so we just thought, you know what, we're going to get it done. Thanks to Squeeze Yoga Clothing for my clothes. Today I'm wearing long black leggings and a bamboo top with a flying heart design. And thanks to Dusky Leaf for our props. Today you are going to need blocks, a bolster, and a wall. Okay, our testimonial comes to us today from Tammy from SpeakPipe.
Hi Melissa, it's Tammy from Delaware. I just finished the Aversion Part 2 class, and I wanted to let you know that I too, like your daughter and her friends, have been doing the dancer's pose incorrectly. So I think with the corrections from the class today, it's going to make it a lot easier for me to do these poses. My knees are problematic, so it was great to get some corrective feedback, and I always appreciate your thoughtful words. Thanks, and have a great day.
So thank you for your message, Tammy. I know the aversion classes were incredibly popular, and I'm glad that I heard from a lot of you too, that the modifications and the teachings in those classes were really helpful. And I'm glad that you're going to be able to apply them, not just Tammy, all of you, in keeping your body safer. Okay, so you are in legs up the wall. We're going to open up to the spaciousness of your experience here, to just open to the spaciousness of your mind. So sometimes when you come into a place like this and have that kind of spaciousness, it can feel like there is so much thought going on. So we will practice our mindfulness, our focus, by focusing on our breathing here. Let your attention drop down to your breath in your belly. And when your mind wanders, without making it wrong or without making yourself bad, just bring your attention back to your breath in your belly. Notice any tendency towards dullness or sleepiness when there's, quote, nothing happening here. And remember that your attention is to be on your breathing now. Let your breath be the most interesting thing in the world. And if you drop off towards boredom or dullness or sleepiness, bring your attention back to your breathing. Notice any desire to wish to drop off towards sleep and bring your alertness back to your breath. Become curious about where you feel your breath in your body and follow your breath in and out of your body with all of your attention. And then take a deep breath in through your nose. Let it fall out of your mouth. Slowly bend your knees. Allow the blood to rush back to your feet. And then you're going to roll to your right side. And from here, you can pause for a moment before you come up. You're probably going to move your mat away from the wall. And then you're going to need your block. So you're going to come and lie on your back. So you're going to lie on your back with your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor. And then you're going to take your block, and I would place it at the lowest level because this is a restorative class. Press into your feet. Place the block right under the center of your pelvis so that it's supporting your sacrum. And it's very calming, relaxing pose. And close your eyes, allow yourself to turn inward. And again here, so even just that closing your eyes can move you towards, that can be as a signal to your body to start sleeping. So remind yourself to be alert, and your attention will go to your breath again. Just notice where you feel your breath in your body. Becoming aware of your breath as you breathe in and as you breathe out. And then notice any tendency towards boredom or dullness, and know that that's completely normal. And then let your attention shift towards the sensations in your body. Feel the bottoms of your feet against your yoga mat, the backs of your arms against your yoga mat, your shoulders and the back of your head. Feel the sensation of the back of your pelvis against the yoga block. Notice what it feels like in your low belly to have your pelvis lifted here. Be mindful of what sensations are present in your body. Let all your attention rest on the physical sensations in your body right now. Notice any thoughts creeping in, any desire to occupy your mind with thinking, planning, remembering, and then bring your attention back to sensation in your physical body or your breathing. Then take a deep breath in through your nose. Let it fall out of your mouth. Press into your feet. Lift up off your block. Lower your pelvis down and draw your knees into your chest. And from here, you're going to roll to your side and come up onto all fours. Okay, for the next pose, you're going to need your bolster. So for this one, if you have two kinds of bolsters, I would recommend a flat bolster for this. So if you have a round one, a flat one, use your flat one for this. And come onto all fours. Walk your knees off to the left side of your mat. Lower your right hip down. So your knees are bent at a 90-degree angle to the left side of your mat. And then lower yourself down with your head to the left. And then you're in a front lying twist. And here we're going to just practice being, not doing, with no agenda and no goal. And again, being with the physical sensations in your body and feeling the breath in your body. So now, because especially you're lying down with a pillow, the tendency towards sleep could be very strong. So it's very comfortable. Now your practice and focus is, your desire to focus has to be stronger. So now this is a very strong focus practice in being with the sensations in your body and being with your breath. So if you feel yourself drifting towards sleep, maybe check in and see, maybe I'm really tired. Maybe I need to go have a nap. Maybe I didn't get enough sleep last night. And maybe I need that more than my yoga right now. Or maybe I'm just in the habit of going to sleep when nothing's happening. And I need to bring my mind back to my breath. You take a deep breath in. Let it fall out of your mouth. And from here, you are going to very slowly make your way onto the other side of this posture. So you come back up onto all fours and you walk your knees off the right side of your mat, lower your left hips down, and then you lower your body down onto the bolster. And this time your head faces the right side. So letting go of all agendas, all striving, all goals here. This is a practice of focus, focusing on your breath and sensations in your physical body. And then take a deep breath in through your nose. Let it fall out of your mouth. And slowly find your way out of this posture. Okay, for the next pose, I'm going to show you some propping to protect your knees. I find it really helps my knees. So I would lay down, if you're not on a carpeted floor, a blanket on your mat. I know I'm being fussy, I'm being a fusspot, but there. Okay. One of my students, Victoria, showed me she got one of these this week. You can get these really inexpensively on Amazon. And they're like one of the best yoga props. I had this big revelation this month that I love props, and this is probably no news to you guys. Nor to Tim, who has to lug my props around when we go outside. Okay, we're going to do sleeping pigeon. So have 2 blankets or a blanket and a meditation cushion if you can. What we're going to do is you're going to bring your right hip around in front and lengthen your left leg back long behind you. So now your blanket is underneath your left knee, which is very nice. And then what you can do is use your blanket behind you to fill that space between the ground and your back buttocks. Okay, and then this bolster in front for your to fold over. So we'll do sleeping pigeon here. And then in this pose, let your attention be on your breath. A practice in focus, training your mind and staying with your breathing. So the option in this pose could be to do eye of the needle against the wall or on your back. And if you feel yourself getting bored or sleepy, bring your attention back to your breath. And take a deep breath in through your nose. Let it fall out of your mouth. And slowly make your way out of this pose. And we'll make our way into the pose on the other side. So rotate your left hip around in front. And then you reach your left leg back and long. And then you take your cushion or your blanket. This is nice because you can mold it to fill the space. And you fold forward over your bolster. Sleeping pigeon on the other side. Let your attention be on your breath and your body. Let your attention be with your breath. And then take a deep breath in through your nose. And let it fall out of your mouth. Take your hands under your shoulders and slowly lift yourself out of this posture. And you can put your bolster off to your side for the time being. And find a comfortable seated position. So we will sit with a mudra in an alert position to receive the teachings today. I suggest you bring your thumb and your index finger into the Gyan mudra with your palms facing up. Bring your shoulders over your hips and your ears over your shoulders. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Let it fall out of your mouth. and allow yourself to arrive here now. If the teachings resonate with you, great, and if not, you can just let them go. This week we continue with the 5 hindrances. The 5 hindrances are common mental states that arise in our practice and lives, and they can impede our practice. They have been observed and taught as part of Buddhist studies. In teaching about the 5 hindrances, Sharon Salzberg quotes the Buddha. He says, "Our minds are naturally radiant and pure. Our minds are shining. It is because of visiting forces that we suffer. The 5 hindrances are grasping, aversion, sleepiness, restlessness, and doubt. And they are guests in our home. They're just visitors." Sharon Salzberg says they may visit often or even continuously, but they are still visitors. Naturally, as human beings, we become identified with these visitors. We take them personally. We think that we are right or wrong or good or bad, depending on who is showing up in our home on any given day. When we see ourselves as bad and horrible, these states pull us in and they distort our perception. They make us feel stuck. However, it's not personal. It's normal things that happen to us as human beings. So this week we are focusing on the 3rd aversion, sleepiness or dullness or sluggishness. Our lives are so often incredibly busy. What happens is the moment that we slow down for our yoga and our meditation practices, we realize just how tired we are and how much fatigue we are carrying. When we slow down and come to our yoga mats, we are saying no to the disease of busyness. And the result can often be that neutral experiences can seem dull and boring, and they can even put us to sleep. If we are not mindful, we can be off looking for the next experience to entertain us and occupy us. Our North American culture is obsessed with doing, and it definitely doesn't celebrate being. One of the most common complaints that I hear about my yoga classes is that they're too slow and boring. And I often feel this complaint comes within a cultural context of being dependent on the intensity of doing to feel alive. When our experience is neutral, we are trained to look for something, anything to do, to numb out or to go to sleep. In our yoga practice, we are training in mindfulness. That is, we are training our attention. When we begin to numb out because our experience has become boring for us, we are experiencing the aversion of dullness or sleepiness. This can be our meditation bell to remind us to come back, to train our attention. We can bring our awareness and interest to our breath and sensations in our body. Even if our practice is calming, we can train ourselves to pay attention to what is happening. We can challenge ourselves to not numb out when the experience is dull. This is the practice. So reflect on how this relates to you in your life and in your yoga practice, and begin to form an intention for what you would like to receive from the rest of this yoga class. What is it that you are trying to create, sustain, release, or rebirth in your life, and how can your yoga practice help you to do that? And then once you've formed your intention, you can begin to wiggle and stretch out. And we're going to make our way up to standing, and we're going to use the wall for a short restorative pose. Okay, so for this you're going to need a wall, and you're going to stand a little ways away from the wall. You're going to bend your knees, and you're going to roll your back against the wall. Now you get to see how tight my hamstrings are, but the whole point is that you're going to rest the back of your head and your upper back against the wall. And then you only need to straighten your legs as much as is comfortable for you. But it's just a real release for your upper back and your neck. And we're just going to stay here for a little bit in this supported forward fold. So here your mantra can be, I am enough. What I do is enough. I am enough. What I do is enough. I am enough. What I do is enough. This pose isn't turning out to be so restorative for me. That was time. Okay, good. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, and you're going to slowly make your way up to standing. Okay. That ended up being more like a squat for me than a forward fold. Okay, from here, you're going to need your bolster and 2 blocks. Okay, so you're going to take your bolster, place it lengthwise on your mat. Take your 2 blocks, put them out to the side. And you are going to do reclined bound angle pose. So your blocks will support your knees, so that supports your SI joint. And then you lie over your bolster. And you can move your bolster so that it's in a comfortable position in your back. And you're going to stay here. And I'm going to sit up. I have something that I'm going to read to you while you're here. This is from Krista Tippett's blog on being, and it's an excerpt from her article on being busy. So she says, this disease of being busy, and let's call it what it is, the disease of being busy when we are never at ease, is spiritually destructive to our health and well-being. It zaps our ability to be fully present with those we love the most in our families and keeps us from forming the kind of community that we so desperately crave. In many Muslim cultures, when you ask them how they are doing, you ask in Arabic, Kaif hal ik, or in Persian, hal I shoma chetore. How is your hal? What is this hal that you inquire about? It is the transient state of one's heart. In reality, we ask, how is your heart doing at this very moment, at this breath? I'm not asking how many items are on your to-do list, nor asking how many items are in your inbox. I want to know how your heart is doing. I want to know how your heart is doing at this very moment. This really got to me when I found it. That's why I wanted to share it with you. It's still really choking me up. Tell me your heart is joyous. Tell me your heart is aching. Tell me your heart is sad. Tell me your heart craves a human touch. Examine your own heart. Explore your soul. And tell me something about your heart and soul. Tell me you remember you are still a human being, not just a human doing. Tell me you're more than a machine, checking off items from your to-do list. Have that conversation, that glance, that touch. Be a healing conversation, one filled with grace and presence. Put your hand on my arm, look me in the eye, and connect with me for 1 second. Tell me something about your heart, and awaken my heart. Help me remember that I too am a full and complete human being, a human being who also craves touch. Take a deep breath. Let it fall out of your mouth. Draw your navel back towards your spine, lift your pelvic floor, draw your legs together, roll to your side. Okay, we're going to do one more twist and then Shavasana. So you can put your blocks off to the side. And I'm just going to get my smaller flat bolster. You're going to lie on your back with your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor. Your arms out in a soft T. Press into your feet. Lift your hips. Move them over to the left side of your mat. You may have to move your bolster closer to you. And then lift your knees and put them on top of your bolster. Look over your left shoulder. So as we can see from you're going to stay here, I'm going to share something with you here. With the last reading from Krista Tippett, over-identifying with work has consequences. I know that many of us that have work that we love feel lucky to have the work that we do, and that we often spend a lot of time doing this work that we love. But even if we have work that we love to do, it's important to remember that it's not the whole of us. And it's important to keep perspective on the other roles in our life, to remain a whole person with complex humanity and varied joys. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Let it fall out of your mouth. And then come back onto your back. Press into your feet. Untuck your hips. Pause here for a moment. Take another deep breath. Allow your spine to unwind. Take your bolster over to the other side of your body. Press into your feet. Lift your hips, take them over to the right side of your mat, and bring your knees up onto your bolster. Look over your right shoulder. So New York Times writer and author, cartoonist Tim Kreider writes, busyness serves as a kind of existential reassurance, a hedge against emptiness. Obviously, your life cannot possibly be silly or trivial or meaningless if you are so busy, completely booked, and in demand at every hour of the day. Take a deep breath in. Let it fall out of your mouth. And then come back to the center. Press into your feet. Untuck your hips. Take a breath here. Okay, so you're going to take your bolster, put it underneath your knees for Shavasana. Turn your palms up beside you. And allow yourself to receive your practice. You're going to stay here, and I'm going to sit up to read you a poem. This is a favorite, often read poem of Mary Oliver's. You've probably heard me read it before. If you like it, great. If not, you can just let it go. It's called Today by Mary Oliver. And I thought it worked well for today's class. Today I'm flying low, and I'm not saying a word. I'm letting all the voodoos of ambition sleep. The world goes by as it must, the bees in the gardens rumbling a little, the fish leaping and the gnats getting eaten, and so forth. But I'm taking the day off, quiet as a feather. I hardly move, though I'm traveling a terrific distance. Stillness, one of the doors into the temple. So I would encourage you to rest back for as long as you can. Please pause the video and have a 5 to 10 minute Shavasana. We are out of memory cards, so I'm going to wrap up. I'm going to finish with Loka Samasta Sukhi no Bhavantu, to gather in the fruits of your practice and offer it out into the world, making space with breath and a sigh. Loka Samasta Sukhi no Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhi no Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhi no Bhavantu. May all beings be happy and free, and may the thoughts, words, and actions of my own life create happiness and freedom for all. If you liked today's show, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new to our channel, please subscribe, and you'll receive a new show in your feed every Friday. Thank you for your donations. I'd like to thank Allison, Peggy, Ricky, Ann, and Viola. If you'd like to make a donation, you can click here. You can also donate of your time by leaving a comment. Today's comment to leave in the comment section is, how are you going to let go of the tyranny of busyness this week? And if you'd like to get a list of the antidotes to the 5 hindrances, you can go to melissawest.com/322. Scroll all the way to the bottom. If you put in your email, we will send you that list, and then you can have a list of all the antidotes to the 5 hindrances. And if you'd like more restorative yoga classes, we have several in our membership community, and I will link to the playlist of that in our membership community below. We'd love to have you as a member. You can become a member right here. Sending you much love from beautiful British Columbia. May you be as strong as our mountains. May you be as rooted as the trees in our forest. And may your joy be as deep as our Pacific Ocean. Om Shanti Namaste.
Melissa would love to hear your questions and thoughts. Please leave your comments below the video. Thank you for your reviews on iTunes and YouTube. Your reviews help us to share yoga and a yoga lifestyle with others around the world. If you have a question for Melissa, you can leave a voice message at melissawest.com, and Melissa may answer it in an upcoming blog.